Hello, good morning. Can you see little Diogo face at the window there? We just popped him inside as it's a Sunday and it's hunting day. This week we thought we would share with you like an updated tour of our land. We bought this place back in November 2020, so we've lived here for over 2 years now. We have about 1.5 acres of land in central Portugal, and I have been working on a little illustrated map that I've wanted to create for ages of our land, because I think watching videos of us living here, it can sometimes be a bit hard to place where things are. So we thought this would be a really nice video just to show you the land, show you the different segments of it, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So there's our home up there, tucked amidst the olive trees, and then I'll just turn around and then I'm on the track, and here is our very big, great big beautiful cork oak, and this is where we're currently parking.
So this used to be a wall, which is the boundary of ours. The old driveway being an absolute nightmare, we decided to change it to here. Once we get the new driveway fixed, then we'll probably rebuild this wall, I guess. Let's
go this way. This is the great big cork oak, and then we have a second one here, and then yeah, this is just the nugget. We don't really know what we're going to do with it. Maybe just leave it wild.
We did, in the first summer we were here in July, get some people come and harvest it, and it was bright yellow when it was harvested. It's amazing how much it's changed colour.
So we got 40 euros for our cork, and they harvest every 8 or 9 years. Yeah. That's why you often see numbers. You can just see across the road there's a 0 on there. That's the year it was harvested, so they know when to next harvest it. This is just another small little olive grove, and then we have here at the end the wood store lean-to and the beginning of the driveway. We've spent a lot of time here this winter.
What we have.
This is wood chopping zone and blocks for the future chicken coop, and the mess that is our driveway.
What we need to do is raise the level of all of the driveway here, so it's going to be a lot of filling. We need to build this wall as almost like a retaining wall.
And there's another gate here, but this is a separate segment of the land here. This is the old boundary wall, so we'll come back round to there. I'm here now on the track. We were round there earlier, and this is the driveway, just to give you an idea of where we are. So we'll go up this path here. This is our bottom well with the picotta installed and my veg garden, and then the house is behind this tree. It got cold, you were meant to get a jacket. So this is the second segment of the land that we call the plateau. So we have, running along here, there is sort of dug out channels to reduce flooding here, and the water runs down here when it rains. Our plan is to put in a vineyard here eventually. We have a big beautiful pear tree, and then the border runs just along the same line as the pear tree. There's more vines there. This is my veggie garden, and then there's another channel here and vines and a well with a picotta, and then yeah, this is the old border, because for those that don't know, we then had to buy this second piece of land 6 months after we bought this one. It's a long story. There's some quince trees in here. This one I freed from brambles. These ones I haven't got to yet. And we have a beautiful fig tree here. And there's another fig tree next to the big old olive tree. Right, the next piece
is
this olive grove. So here was the original border, and then we just had this olive grove here. How many olive trees do we have in total?
Just over 100.
We didn't pick any olives the last season because the summer was so dry, there was just no olives. But the first year we picked, this was the best area for olives. These all do really well, they get a lot of sunshine. The border runs behind the compost pile and the greenhouse. And there's Iwan's climbing wall, and then the bathroom is sort of the next living quarters section of the land. That's what I've decided it's called today. Yeah. More vines and olive trees all along the old border, that we've been working on pruning. Quince tree with lots of dead quinces in.
We need to prune this.
We do. They have amazing blossoms, quince trees, so it's lovely in the spring. So then this is the top section of the land where our house is, and the border runs into this corner, and behind the house we have the cabin and the bathroom that we built the first spring, and it served us well.
It has, so far.
I'll just show you inside the cabin. It's the very first thing we built, so it's a bit rough around the edges, but it serves a purpose.
It's still standing.
Still standing.
Oh.
We don't show it much, it's just
It's a bedroom.
a functional space. Don't look too closely at like the walls and stuff. So this is where I want the main vegetable garden to be, because we're a lot closer to the house, so it's easier to keep on top of. We've got our onion and garlic bed here, and then I'm going to be expanding all of this, and we're right next to our big top well. This back wall here is the current boundary, as many of you have asked, because we have been offered a piece of land behind us. It's a slow, ongoing process. We need to get in touch with the owners, which we're struggling to do. So eventually we hope that we will add this small strip of land behind us to our land. This is the top well.
This one's the deepest one.
That is pretty much its fullest.
Bit of an algae problem. We will empty this and give it a good clean, and then as it rises up we'll start pointing the top section to try and maintain its cleanliness, and hopefully, depending on finances, we will cap it. I always wanted to cap it with glass, but I don't think we can afford it, so we will cap it with concrete, and then if it's good water then we'll use it for our drinking water.
Yeah, it should be. We'll get all filters and it'll be clean, and we'll test it. This reservoir tank here, which we have tried to no avail to repair, because it's great for in the summer for keeping cool, so we are actually going to knock this down.
And we will rebuild it though, for all of you concerned.
But not here. This is actually a really nice place to sit, so we're going to keep the concrete floor that's already there.
And we'll keep the picotta.
Iwan loves this picotta.
Everybody thinks I should knock it down.
Well, we can't use it because of like the position of the house, and I just think if we like pulled it over, it could be a cool like bench or something. But
I'm attached to it.
So I think, yeah, once we knock it down, it will kind of be incorporated into this seating area here. And then this is the house that we have been working on.
Beautiful rosemary tree.
So if you want to see what this looked like when we first moved here, you can go to our very first video, which was kind of a tour of the land. And yeah, we've done quite a lot of work on this. There's still more to do. This is just the one part of the building we're still working on, and then we have another part. Kitchen, dining room, currently our living room, full of animals. Yeah, this is the house that we currently spend a lot of time in because it's cold and wintry. We did all the walls, put on a new roof with the help of our good friend Nick, who's an absolute legend. Tiled the floor, put in a log burner. We're going to be building in fixed kitchen units. This is my masterpiece. It took me a long time. I had this crazy creative vision, and
it worked.
I think so. A beautiful, beautiful oven. We lived for 2 years without an oven, and the things we can cook now just, yeah, make life a lot better.
It's my pride and joy.
Yeah, Iwan is the chef of the house. We will eventually like to just have a dining room table in here rather than a big sofa, but we have nowhere else to sit at the moment. This is the big main barn building of the house.
We say big.
Okay, yeah, how big is it? Like 3 by 3 meters?
Something like that. It's pretty small.
But it's bigger than that one. And it's a pre-1951 building, which is a rule in Portugal that then you can live within that building. It's like habitation exemption, that you don't have to fit all these rules, so it's a really good place to live off grid. So that's why a lot of people here in Portugal do buy these buildings with the rooms on, and they have to be on an urban article within the deed. So this one is, which we're really happy about, because we had no idea about all of this before we moved here, so we pretty much landed on our feet with here. I'm not 100% sure. Check with a lawyer, not us, but I know people will ask, so I just thought I'd share that. It's currently a very big mess. This is why we have bought a shed, because this is currently the shed, and this year we really want to work on this building. I'm almost embarrassed to show you. But it's shed slash winery slash water storage.
Yeah, check out the old stonework.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to point some of this. And then the plan is this year to get a new roof on it.
Yeah, hopefully. We're saving up for that one at the moment, but once we empty it we'll start digging out the floor and pointing, because they're really cheap things to do and very time consuming, so good thing to do while saving. The barn, the edge of the barn used to be the old boundary, and we then found out once we bought it that this parcel of land was split with the house, so we actually didn't fully own the house, which is why we then had to buy out the previous owner his part of the house, but you couldn't separate the land from it, so we then had to buy this piece of land as well, which is amazing. It's just slowed us down a lot with the project of building the house.
Just a bit.
So that is now no longer the boundary. This continues our land, and I think previously it was all one piece, so it's really nice to join it back together. This lean-to has been built on, and a door knocked through the wall here.
Can't quite see, it's in the shadow.
Yeah, our plan would be to apply for permission to build a small bathroom on here. That barn will become a bedroom, and then this will just be, a bathroom, hopefully washing machine. Oh, one can dream. And then we did have a big old mimosa tree here which fell down, and this was our favourite place to sit in the shade. It's now where all our solar charging happens. But we have started to recreate a seating area here, which we're going to put a lot of shade cover. Don't go standing on my foot. Excuse me. We're going to put a shade cover here because the summers are so hot here that you just really need somewhere to sit. And then we have the next piece of land is where our chickens live.
Let's go. Little fire pit.
We're currently working on building a new chicken coop. That's what all the blocks on the driveway are, but somebody broke their ribs, so we've fallen behind on that project. Another small Cork here.
And then an absolutely huge one.
I think this is our least visited part of the land. It's kind of like really tucked away in the corner, but it's really beautiful. There's 4 big pear trees here, and it gets a lot of shade, and the ground is really saturated with water, so I think it would be really cool to do something with this area eventually, on our list of many things to do. And then we have another well up here.
Our third and final well.
Yeah, that's one thing we were super lucky with this piece of land as well, is there is so much water on it. In the winter when it rains a lot, water runs out of this corner, so this corner is the boundary. So then we have this other section of the land that's mostly just an olive grove as well. We haven't done too much with the olive trees because we didn't have these the first year, so they do need a little bit of love. So we have a lot more vines here, but we haven't yet got to pruning. It's going to be a big job. We did actually do this last spring.
Yeah, we completely cleaned up everything. This thing's a beast.
So this is the final section of the land. We have more vines that need pruning running all down here, and this is where the old water trench lies that we need to dig out to try and reduce some of the flooding, because we haven't had proper rain in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Soaking wet here, which is great because it's good to have water on your land, but maybe not this much. So this is the final big plateau that we call Manel's plateau because he's the old owner, and that's just how it is in our head. And we've not fully decided what we're going to do here yet, but I would really love to plant a tea plantation here. Iwan and his mum have a tea and coffee specialist shop back in North Wales, so tea is a big part of our life, and I just think it would be so cool to grow tea here. I know there's a tea plantation in the north of Portugal, but I don't know how well it would do in this climate, but that's kind of the idea I have in my head. If not, I'm sure we'll grow something else or plant some more trees or vines. But yeah, it's just a big, beautiful field, basically. I think the previous owner just used to grow a lot of hay here because he keeps goats, and yeah, it's full of flowers, very wet. Then that takes us back to the driveway, and then there's the second gate from when these two pieces of land were separated. And the border runs all the way along here. We have more quince trees. There's actually some wild honeysuckle growing here. And we have another small cork oak here, so really happy to have this here. Corks are protected here in Portugal, so you're not allowed to chop them down. I don't know why you would want to. They're such a cool tree. Now we're just standing in the other furthest corner, and the house is up there. The picotta and the well is here. So yeah, I hope that has helped to conceptualise our land and how it's all placed, and I cannot wait to work on all the different segments. So
It's going to be a good year.
yeah, it's a very exciting task, and we feel very lucky. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Oh, the sun is in my eyes.
It's lovely. February sun. See you next week.
Yeah, I guess so.
Até logo.
That's it.